What images come to your mind when you hear the phrase dark web? For most people, the phrase brings up images of hackers in hoodies or illegal marketplaces, but that's just one small corner of it. In reality, the dark web is simply a hidden part of the internet that doesn't show up in the Google search results and cannot be accessed with normal browsers. However, most people don't really know how to access it securely. So in this video, I'm going to show you 3 proven methods to safely access the dark web, starting with the least secure way, aka the way you're about to try. Spoiler, you're going to get hacked. And ending with the most secure way. But before we go on to number 1 and I'll let you loose, you need to know that the dark web isn't all bad. In fact, it was actually created with good intentions to give people anonymity and a platform for free expression, and it has a ton of legitimate uses. So think journalists trying to communicate with people who want to stay hidden, or people in oppressive regimes who need to keep their activities hidden from their government. Despite what you may have heard, the dark web for the most part is kind of a good place with a ton of legitimate websites like Instagram, Facebook, The Guardian, even the CIA. It's all there ready to be accessed securely with the right know-how. And believe me, it's awesome. But the thing that makes it so awesome is also what makes it kind of terrifying, because it's the perfect breeding ground for all types of shady and illegal activity. I mean, think about it. If you're a criminal, it's perfect. It's complete anonymity with no oversight. Basically, it's like the purge all the time, except on the internet. Okay, number 1 on our list, and the most insecure way to access the dark web, is through the Tor browser. To do this, all you need to do is download it from the clear net, just like you would any other browser. Now, the Tor browser, which stands for the Onion router, is what we'll use to access the Onion network. And spoiler alert, there's going to be a lot of onions on the dark web. In fact, it's kind of all onions sitting on top of the internet, and the onions are what make it dark. This isn't to say those onions are bad, they just have layers. Now, we won't go too deep in this video, but just know that part of what makes the dark web secure, and the reason we need a special browser, is that like the layers of an onion, data sent on the dark web is sent through 3 onion routers before they reach their destination. These include a guard relay, a middle relay, and finally an exit relay, each applying a different layer of encryption for your security. This helps keep our data anonymous and safe. Now, let me show you how easy it is to get on the dark web. I'm going to open my Tor browser and go to torproject.org. Then I'll click on download Tor browser and download it for my operating system. Next, I'll run the installer here for my Windows, which will install it for my desktop, and click finish. And now we will connect to the dark web. Are you ready? It's about to get real. And connect. Okay, so now that we're here, what do we do? Like, do we just go to Google? And in case you're wondering, yes, you can in fact access regular websites on the clear net using the Tor browser, but we can also do much more. Also, for those of you who are curious, if you click on the circuit right here, you can actually see the 3 onion routers we're being redirected through, as well as our brand new IP address. So you might be asking yourself about now, where is the dark web? I thought we were here. Well, that's kind of the point. The dark web is dark. You get there and you're like this. It's a bunch of unlisted websites interconnected by these onions, and nothing can really find them, not even Google. And Google can see everything, including you right now, on your phone, wearing sweatpants, eating Doritos, and drinking Coca-Cola. It sees you. But not even the Google spiders can crawl these websites because they hate onions. And like I said, the dark web is filled with onions. In fact, every website you visit on the dark web is an onion. It even ends with .onion. Let's try one site. We'll go to the official dark web version of The Guardian. Now, don't get too excited. It's still the same website, it's just on the dark web. Notice that the address is completely different than the normal Guardian website. Like, you can't just remember that. That's because unlike the clear net, it's a randomly generated string, and that would be the same for every dark web website. Now, if you're a big deal like The Guardian or Instagram, you might get your name pre-printed in the beginning through some fancy measures, but the end of the address is always going to be something random, and it will always end in .onion. That's how you know you're on a dark web website. But the point I want to hit home here is that you would never ever be able to figure out how to get to this website unless The Guardian gave you their onion address. There's nowhere to search it or index it, which is of course how our regular internet works. We discover things through search engines. However, this does not happen here. It's dark. No flashlights, but you might find some candles along the way. There are some really useful ones called the Hidden Wiki. This is a dark web website that has a list of other dark web websites. There's also a search engine on the dark web called Ahmia, and they'll search known dark web websites, but that's it. They can't index and they can't crawl. Now, it's at this point that you'll probably want to go around and find some interesting stuff because you're curious, right? Now, Right now, this is not secure. And while we can't technically surf the dark web with our current settings, it would be like going out into the ocean with a boat made out of Lego bricks. So let's move on to level 2, the second most secure way to access the dark web. And while this is definitely more secure, it's still not the most secure. Like, I probably wouldn't do this if I were searching for stuff. You know what I mean. This will involve the same thing as level 1, but adding an extra layer of protection. We'll still have our same Tor browser we used in method 1, but before we connect to the dark web network, we'll first connect to a VPN, and we'll also change some settings in our Tor browser that are highly recommended. So back here at the Tor browser, I'm going to disconnect from the Tor network, and then I'll close my Tor browser. Next, I'll set up a VPN real quick. I'm using Victus, but you can use whatever you want as long as you trust it. Then I'll connect to a VPN and I'll launch my Tor browser. Now you might be asking yourself, why bother doing this? Why use VPN before we connect to the Tor network? Aren't we already protected? Aren't we already anonymous? Well, yes, but only up to a point. While it is true that your data on the darknet is encrypted, it's only encrypted once you actually get there. In other words, your ISP can see you connecting to the darknet. They know who you are. Now, they can't actually see what you do there, but it's those little weak areas that get people found out and tracked on the dark web. It's how the FBI and CIA can track these things, but if we're smart and we use a VPN, our IP address is hidden before we connect to the first node in the Tor network, adding that extra layer of security. Also, by default, our connection isn't that safe. Let's change some settings real quick. Part of our level 2 security. Level 3 is really gonna blow your mind, trust me, but this one is still pretty good. So we'll click on configure connection, and over here we have privacy and security. Let's go ahead and click on that. From here, we'll browse down until we see security and security level. Right now we're on standard, which means all browser and website features are enabled. However, you don't want that on the dark web because there's a lot of things that hackers can do using all those features, and it's much safer having them turned off. So we're gonna go with the safest option. And here, things like JavaScript are disabled by default on all websites. And really with that one change, that's pretty much all you have to worry about for most things. With level 2, you're safe, but not completely safe. That's where level 3 comes into play. Level 3 is intense, but it's also the most secure. And trust me, you're going to have the most fun with this one. It's also the one I would recommend that you use if you want to access the dark web. Anything else, use at your own risk. Now here's what we're doing. We're going to create a computer on this USB drive. The computer we create on this USB drive has goldfish memory. Every time you use it, it forgets that you did. It's completely untraceable. This portable operating system or computer is called 𝐾𝐨𝐬, and it uses the Tor network by default. So every time you use it, all of your network is going across the onions. Now I know it might sound a bit complicated, but trust me, it's not that hard. Again, all you need is a USB drive with at least 8 GB of space. Here's how it works. All you need to do is shut down your computer, plug in this USB stick, then boot up your computer, and through your boot options, say I want to boot from my USB. Then suddenly, you're using 𝐾𝐨𝐬. Let's get that set up right now. The first thing we'll do is grab our USB stick and plug it into our computer. And the beauty of this is that you can do this on almost any computer in the world, as long as it's not too old. We'll then open our web browser and go out to tails.net. From here, we'll click on install Tails. And while there are a number of ways to run this, the only way I recommend is via a USB stick. Go ahead and click on that and we'll download the Tails USB image. And actually, while that's downloading, we need to write that image to our USB stick. The best software that I know about is Balena Etcher. Just head out to etcher.balena.io. Click on download Etcher, and once that's downloaded, we'll go ahead and launch it. With Balena open, we'll click on flash from file and choose the Tails image we just downloaded. Open it, then we'll select our target, which kind of sounds aggressive, but all we're really doing is selecting our USB stick. I'll click on that, then I'll click on flash and let it write itself to our USB stick. Okay, the flash is complete. Now let's use it to access the dark web in the most secure way. I've got my laptop here, and the first thing I'll do is plug in my USB drive and restart my computer so I can boot directly from my USB. Once you enter your BIOS menu, you're going to want to scroll down until you get to your USB drive and hit enter. So here we have 𝐾𝐨𝐬 running on a USB stick, and it's a full-blown OS. Now, I will say that some people do have issues getting Tails to work with their Wi-Fi drivers. My laptop worked right out of the box, but if you have issues, you can actually buy a wireless dongle which will connect you. And if your internet is using an Ethernet cable or hard connection, it'll probably be fine. Finally, we'll connect automatically to Tor. And there you have it. We are now securely browsing the dark web using a portable computer that is 100% secure. It cannot get get a virus and it cannot be traced back to us. Pretty cool, right? So those are the 3 ways you can safely access the dark web. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content. And as always, if you have any questions, please leave me a message in the comments below and I will get back to you. Thanks for stopping by, and I will see you in the next video.